On the mound, Jeremy only warmed up the one time. That was when he was when the rain had stopped and the grounds crew was working on the field. So he's good to go. Let's take a look at the Brewers lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, Eric Sogard is back off the disabled list for the Brewers. They're happy to have him back. And Ryan Braun is back in the lineup hitting third. Braun has been out this year with a calf injury, but most recently he has missed time with a sore wrist as well. They will face the right-hander Jeremy Hellickson. Hellickson 6-5 on the year with an ERA of 4.44. It's hard to duplicate what he did in April when he was 4-0 with an ERA of 1.80. He hasn't been bad recently, John, but I think he's looking for that one game that gets him back on track totally.
Yeah, and this could be a good team to do it against, Tom, but just because of the fact that they do swing and miss a lot, they do chase a lot of pitches. Jeremy doesn't have the stuff to get guys out in the strike zone consistently. He has to make sure he can get in the strike zone early and then finish late out to try to get these guys out, and hopefully he gets lots of swings and misses on that changeup tonight.
Time now for our Nissan keys to the game. John, why don't you start us off?
Well, keep up everything that they're doing right now, but really the big key to me is keep it in the park. Jeremy Hellickson, we know about the changeup. He is susceptible to the home run. This team scores their runs on home runs, so he has to keep him in the park if he wants to have success.
All right, Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, good to be back, guys, first of all. And my key is an unusual one. Let's feel the feeling. In other words, things have been going pretty well for the club the last, 6-8 games, and they've been hitting, doing a lot of things well. Feel the feeling of the momentum of how much fun the game is if you let the game come to you. If you feel that feeling of allowing the game to come to you, don't try to do too much. Just let it happen. So that's what I mean by feel the feeling.
Well, it certainly has been a better feeling for the Phils offensively, pitching wise. Even the bullpen has done an excellent job. Here's Eric Sogard. He'll lead it off. Reinstated today from the 10-day disabled list. Keon Broxton went down to the minor leagues. As the game begins tonight, the Brewers' lead in the division is down to a half game. And the first pitch of the night in the air to left field. And Howie Kendrick, who's back tonight in the starting lineup, makes the catch. One pitch, one away.
Well,
yeah, go ahead, John.
That's another thing you're going to notice about this team is they do swing early. Aaron Nola had some quick innings last night. Once he started striking guys out, though, everything was good to go.
Craig Counsell still trying to keep a positive attitude with his team, even though they've lost 6 straight.
Well, Hellickson will take advantage of that, knowing that they're aggressive. Like you said, John, this is a great team to get back on track for Hellickson.
First pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1 to Thames.
I don't know if there's going to be middle ground with this game with Hellickson. It's either going to be really good or he's going to miss location and these guys are going to hit him around. But
yeah, also on feeling the feeling, how about the Brewers feeling the feeling of those Cubs?
I don't care what anybody says.
Feel them coming.
You have to feel it on the back of your neck, particularly the way the Brewers have played recently. They haven't scored a whole lot of runs.
Did you ever believe that we don't look at the scoreboard?
Oh, heck no. I mean, I I didn't generally look at the ground scoreboard that showed the games going on around the league. I know a lot of my teammates used to follow that, but I didn't. I sure looked at the standings the next day in the paper.
That's what I mean. We won't pay attention to the standings till September. You know what? You watch that thing, man. One year I had a chance to get in the playoffs, and the team I played on had a chance to get in the playoffs. Man, I was watching it in May.
1-2 pitch to Thames outside, 2-2. Well, the concerning part for the Brewers is that they've scored 12 total runs during this losing streak, averaging 2 runs per game over the last 6.
Isn't it nice to be talking about the other team in that regard?
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Got him on a changeup. 2 outs here in the first.
Good sign. Taking advantage of the overswinging of the Brewers.
Yeah, that's the thing, Michael. They don't cut down their swing with 2 strikes. A lot of them don't. I mean, they swing it, but again, that's a great pitch by Hellickson. And now here's where I think could be the issue for Jeremy. In Milwaukee, Ryan Braun, I don't think he hit a fastball the whole time he was there. Pivetta blew him away. Pivetta gave up the grand slam on a hanging first pitch breaking ball. He had great swings against every off-speed pitch Phillies pitchers threw him.
2 for 11 lifetime against Hellickson. You can see where Rupp's trying to set up. And Jeremy missed his spot with that fastball, and it's 1-0. Ryan Braun's been out, we mentioned, with that wrist injury. He was on the disabled list earlier this year with a calf strain. And he lines that one back through the middle of base hit, knocked the hat right off Jeremy Hellickson's head. So a 2-out single.
Ryan Braun had some big time success here at this ballpark.
Yeah, he has the highest batting average of any visiting player in the history of this ballpark at 383.
Well, let's be happy this is a line drive. Unfortunately close to our pitcher, but boom, look at that. Be glad he didn't get that up.
Good thing he ain't 6'5".
Yeah.
Good thing that launch angle was poor.
Well, runner at first and 2 men down, and here's Travis Shaw.
Never thought we'd be so happy to see our opponent get a single.
Shaw hitting .292 with 21 home runs and 69 runs batted in.
Yeah, Braun, everyone kept talking about him in Milwaukee. The calf, the calf, the calf. He ended up stealing the base. The grand slam, he was hop, skipping, and jumping throughout the entire dugout after the grand slam. So I don't think it's the calf.
He had a cortisone shot on that wrist right before the All-Star break, which not too many folks knew about until Thursday when he was given the day off.
Had a calf strain one time. It was one of the the worst injuries that you can have as a regular player, position player that has to run. It's just so hard to get back and to trust that you can run normally with that pull in your calf. It just needs a long time to heal.
I would think it would have bugged you more on the turf too.
It's so hard to get it better. You want to go out and you want to run, you want to be involved, and you just can't until you can run. You can limp around with a
popped up. Rupp over toward the Brewers dugout, out of play.
You can limp around with a pulled muscle, thigh, quad, hamstring.
Here we go. This is what John's talking about.
Not sure that's a calf injury, is it, Michael?
No, that's overdoing it a little bit. That'd have been a rough one to do in front of the boys back when we played. Be some repercussions, I think, if we used to read everything as you're showing somebody up. I mean, that's a little overdone.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Travis Shaw. And upstairs.
Excuse me, but John, I know you guys talked about it. I was watching. You talked about, your point was that if everybody can do it, then everybody can do it. If our guys can show up your pitcher, I guess you can show up our pitcher.
I think that's the way it is around baseball.
See, we see it as showing up your opponent. The players now see it as, well, we're just having fun.
Entertainment.
So, yeah.
Upstairs, 3-2.
Every team's got some, what do you call it, shtick or whatever they do. I remember the Cardinals, don't they all line up? And they started the all line up in the dugout thing. You go down the gauntlet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not bad, but I mean, I don't know if there's any noise coming from the dugout when they do that or not, but I don't know. I mean, I never like to make a pitcher mad.
Braun will be off and running on this pitch. So he goes 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Hellickson. And the Brewers are retired here in the first. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left, 14 pitches. And this is strikeout number 2. On to the bottom of the first. It's the Brewers 0. The Phillies coming up. Brent Suter is the first pitcher from Harvard to appear in a major league game since Jeff Musselman. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Cesar Hernandez will lead it off at second base. Then Freddie Galvis, Howie Kendrick back in the lineup for the Phils. And the first pitch to Cesar is in there, and it's 0-1. Suter's 1-1 on the year with an earned run average of 3.09. And a broken back ground ball. The bat goes right past Suter. And the grounder picked up by Arcia, and he throws out Cesar. That has to be the third one in a week that we've seen go that far.
Yeah, that got in there pretty good. Clean break. Nice play by Arcia. Knowing Hernandez can scoot down that line. Right-handed, he didn't quite get down there as fast.
You don't normally get out of the box too well either when you get jammed like that.
Yeah,
I mean, first of all, he had to avoid the shrapnel before he could run to first.
There are pieces flying everywhere.
See, he had piece fly right by his head. The little.
Well, Michael got a kick out of that.
He's telling him, you know, aren't you glad they send him by the dozen?
Yeah, right. First pitch to Freddie Galvis is a strike. It's 0-1. Well, you can surmise just from the first couple hitters that this guy gets it and he goes. They said the one thing about him, there is a pace. As Galvis singles to right field. That's his second hit of the series. And here comes Howie Kendrick.
You see Freddie Galvis continuing. You get one that first at bat like that to right field, it can't mean anything but good stuff the rest of the ball game.
Yeah, it's a 5-game hitting streak now for Galvis. I wasn't sure what Pete was going to do when Howie Kendrick came back, if he was going to move Howie to the number 2 spot, move Freddie down. But I think with Altair being out for the time being, that means the number 3 spot is open.
Well, he talked about Nick Williams and how he stood right in that 3-hole for the last several games and looked like, you know, he looked like a 3-hole hitter.
He did.
He hit the lefties, he hit the righties. He just looked like a guy. That's a short, you know, a short span actually to judge somebody. But man, over that span, he looked like a guy that could hit third for a long time.
The ball's 1 strike to Kendrick. And he fouls it back. So here are Suter's numbers that we talked about. He's walked 10 in 32 innings of work. Opposition hitting .262 against him. Mentioning he is out of Harvard, which hasn't produced a whole lot of major leaguers, but his high school in Cincinnati has produced a lot of major leaguers. He is from Archbishop Moeller High School in Cincinnati.
Yeah, well, that's a big one. That's a big football school, isn't it? Cincinnati Moeller. Archbishop, I guess that's Cincinnati Moeller. Back when I was a kid.
Yeah. Did you play them at all?
Oh no. But how'd you like to have your son go to Harvard and become a major leaguer? Good combination.
Yeah. Well, at least you know he can pay off his loans eventually.
I'm sure the parents are probably thinking, you got a degree at Harvard for this?
What are you doing playing baseball, kid?
His financial planning is going to be fine, though, as he gets older. He'll figure that part out. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kendrick. And that one's rolled over to third. They go to second for 1, over to first, not in time.
He won't need an agent sooner.
Well, think about the guys that went to his high school. The Bells, including Buddy. And then David and Mike. Ken Griffey Jr. Barry Larkin.
Yeah, I knew Larkin went there.
Adam Heisdu. Remember Adam Heisdu, outfielder for the Red Sox? And Len Matusak went there as well.
Wow, Matusak. There's some football players that went there as well.
Barry's brother Byron Larkin, who was a prolific basketball scorer, he went there.
Went to Miami.
Franco 1 for 4 in last night's game. He's got a 5-game hitting streak going. And he fouls it back. It's 0-1.
What does that mean? That move he just made with his arm. I got to be quicker. I got to. What do you think?
I'll ask him next time I see him.
Hit through the ball.
I can't even
get on top of the ball.
I can't even lie through that one.
No balls and 1 strike to Franco. Ooh. It's back to the screen, 0-2. Time to take a look at our State Farm combo, our best combo. And it's Mike Kell and Nick Williams. One with a 5-game hitting streak, the other with a 6-game hitting streak. And both hitting .400 during that time. State Farm here to help life go right.
Hey, and what's our record during that time, right? You know, 6 out of 8, something like that. What?
Well, the Phillies score first. They've certainly have put the wins on the board. As Franco goes down on strikes. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. That's a 12 pitch, bottom of the first. We'll head to the second. With the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season with Game Day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. Here is Domingo Santana to lead it off. Santana takes strike 1. It's 0-1. 6 for 22 on this road trip. See what he's done in the month of July. Those are some prime numbers. 393. Oh, 2.
That's how Aaron Nola worked him yesterday. After his first at bat, where he got a first pitch fastball base hit, and then it was away, 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 and it was a flail and a flail and a flail.
Change up, pulled foul. But it remains 2 strikes. I think what Aaron Nola has done could be the most eye-opening thing the Phillies have had happen these last several weeks, because they're, you know, I think they're leaning on him to be a 1 or 2 in the future.
No question about it, Tom. Very good point. The second half of the season and going into next year, he is a big key to the pitching staff. He will either pitch game 1 or game 2 next year.
Absolutely. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Santana. Rupp wanted it in. It goes way out. And it's 2-2. Santana, the former Phillies prospect who they traded away when he was 18 years old. I guess he had just turned 19 when he was with the Lakewood Blue Claws. Over to third base, right at Maikel Franco. Aaron Nola lowered his ERA to 1.38 against the Milwaukee Brewers. And Murph, I know you had a chance to talk to him in preparation for a feature on Phillies Clubhouse, and he's feeling pretty good about himself right now.
He really is, and as you guys were just talking about it, he should be. He is kind of a different pitcher nowadays than we saw even at the beginning of his career when he was so successful. And we had a conversation about that today, and I said, you know, what's different about Aaron Nola now, the way you're pitching now, than was maybe perhaps when you first came up and had success in the big leagues? And he said, well, when I got hurt last year in 2016, you remember his season ended because of the elbow injury, the strain to the ligament in the elbow. He went to Clearwater and he worked with the Phillies rehab pitching coach Ray Burris. And he said when he got down there to Florida and started throwing again, Burris said that one of the first things he said to him, he said, you're not using your legs correctly. And Aaron said, well, he's never had to before. So he worked with Ray Burris and using his legs more effectively when pitching. And he said part of the reason he wanted to do it, Burris told him, look, I pitched a lot of innings in the big leagues and I was never really sore when I was done. And Aaron said, I used to get very sore after each start. He said, well, if you do this, he said, I think that'll help. So he started working with his legs, and he said, I got some added bonus velocity, which we have seen as well as Aaron has worked this year. His fastball's up to about 95, but he's using the lower half much more effectively than he ever did, even in college. And he said that has made all the difference for him. So it just goes to show you that, A, the player has to be ready to make a change when a coach suggests, perhaps, that maybe something different would help the player. And there's just so many people in a baseball organization that can talk to you and help you with one thing that really can lead to great success, and that's what's happened with Aaron Nola.
Boy, Ray Burris, well, he was a workhorse for the Cubs when he pitched in the big leagues. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bandy. Swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for Hellickson. I think legs are important for a pitcher. They're important for a hitter. I mean, they are so important and sometimes underutilized.
For a golfer, I keep bringing that up, and that's what happens in baseball. It's exactly similar to golf. In golf they talk about getting that power from the ground up, and then when you watch golfers hit, you know, guys that hit the ball long, golfers, you see them pushing up, you know, from the ground, and that's where they get that leverage through impact. Tiger Woods almost pushed up in the air before contact when he hit a golf ball, and a pitcher, a hitter, they use the ground to minimize the stress on their arm.
Well, it certainly has helped. In fact, his 7 strikeouts, he has 7 strikeouts or more in 6 consecutive games, Nola does. 0-1 pitch inside to Brett Phillips.
It's almost like using the big muscles of your body, the core of your body, to help propel the arm to throw the ball.
Popped him up. Shallow center field. Odubel Herrera comes running in. Good thing he made that catch because Phillips was already at second base when he made that grab. That's a 13-pitch inning. Pretty good start for Hellickson. 1-2-3 go the Brewers. The protection they deserve. A State Farm agent is here to help with the right home and auto coverage and discounts too. Talk to a Philadelphia area State Farm agent or call 800-STATE-FARM. We are heading to the bottom of the second. Tommy Joseph will lead it off. And Tommy takes a strike and it's 0-1.
Hey, he does work quick, doesn't he?
Oh man. 31st round selection in 2012. Now 27 years old. Tommy pulls it toward the hole off the glove of Arcia. Yeah, the Phillies have 2 hits so far tonight.
It's going to be an interesting little battle of wits with him. And look at those gold shoes, huh? That nice little battle when Odubel comes up and see who can win that slow it up, speed it up game.
Yeah. That is true.
You used to wear those, didn't you, Michael?
Actually, no. We wore white shoes one year, and we thought we were really stretching it with those white shoes. But nice hitting by Tommy, by the way. He got out in front of it a little bit, but he kept the ball on the line and found the hole.
John, is that 55% of the Brewers' colors?
That is the one thing that bothers me is the spikes are supposed to be 55% of the color that what your team puts in. So of course black for the Brewers and red for the Phillies, and that rule's just out.
1 ball and 1 strike to Nick Williams. Williams 1 for 4 last night. He must have a deceptive move because Freddie was slow to get back. And Tommy was right there. 1-2 to Nick Williams.
Had a good pitch to hit right there from a left-hander. He tried to go for the downs on that baby.
We've been kind of updating these numbers throughout the course of the year. The outfielders' numbers have certainly improved from last year to this year. I guess they couldn't go anywhere but up because it was a tough season last year for the Phillies outfielders.
Yeah, Odubel got off to a terrible start. Where last year he got off to an unbelievable start.
Yeah, he was the only one last year.
Yeah, but you know, the emergence of Aaron Altair, Nick Williams, of course.
Howie Kendrick.
Howie.
Well, I'll tell you what, as far as Nick goes, in the last couple of swings he's taken, I know he's fouled the ball off both times, but I'll tell you what, he is not flinching. He is on those balls right there. And you know he has a bit of an uppercut, which is natural for him. But I'll tell you what, he's going at those sliders from that left-hander as good as I've seen a young left-handed hitter. See that? Look at that.
Out to center field. Phillips turns around a little bit, but makes the catch.
That's what I like too about him.
He took a little off of that pitch, and he made the adjustment, a little 2-strike swing.
Yeah, but I mean, it was dead sprint out of the box, rounded, almost ran over Eric Benz right there at first base. But hey, you're right, and it's the front shoulder.
Yeah,
that's the key. Lefty, front shoulder, breaking ball. You know, he keeps that shoulder in. He has a great ability to hit the ball the other way, and the other way with power, which we saw in Miami. I talked to some of the coaches for the Phillies and the Marlins. They couldn't believe that ball, how far it went off his bat. Because you remember Yelich hit similar ball and Odubel caught it at the fence.
Yeah, his jumped.
Oh.
No balls and 1 strike to Odubel. Suter has thrown 21 pitches. 19 of those pitches have been strikes. That's a pretty good ratio. Down low, 1-1. The lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Nicole Hellier. Ben Salem. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, and Nicole will win $100. Introducing the new signature crafted recipes at McDonald's. I'm loving it. 2 balls, 1 strike to Odubel.
Make him get this ball over the center of the plate and see if Odubel can't win her $100.
That's right. Give it out. Odubel's OPS is .880 the last 2 months.
Nice take right there. Tough pitch for him to hit.
He's had a couple takes that were really good.
Can't win them all.
That's what's fascinating. He had two of the best takes you can see. And that pitch, there was no chance at all that pitch was ever a strike.
He's locked on to swing. You know what I mean? He thinks he's getting a fastball, and he's in swing mode.
He's probably going to get something other than a fastball here, too.
What if he throws him slider or curveball and misses and he walks? It's really bad pitching.
Out to center field. Phillips runs back, and it's over his head, and a ground rule double, and that's a break for the Brewers. Tommy Joseph will have to stop at third. Double number 30 for Odubel Herrera. That matches his total from last year.
That 3-2 fastball. Oh, the bat flip. It's the home run bat flip. Watch this. This is a good one. Brewers can't say anything about it, though, because that's the kind of game they play as well. But was that the I got that one?
I think he thought he got it.
Well, he hit it 400 feet.
Yeah, that was 10 feet short of the fence. Maybe he knew it was going to. He knew it was going to bounce over the wall.
Just practicing.
Oh yeah, Braun's grand slam. He almost high-fived
Bernie the
Travis Shaw in the on-deck circle before he ran to first. Hey, how about our lefties though? Putting good swings on this young man.
No balls and 1 strike to Rupp. He flares it foul, 0-2.
Like Cameron got some new wood.
Looks like he got some new socks.
Pulled up the pants a little bit.
Changing his luck. Showing us the Liberty Bell.
Look a little Jim Thome-ish there. I don't know about the shoes, but
high tops.
Little Babe Ruthish. He wants a little contact here, though.
Strikeout number 2 for Suter. Jeremy Hellickson's coming up. Breaking news, the most accurate weather forecast for your neighborhood and major news of the day. Now more people are watching NBC 10 News and Telemundo 62 News at 11 p.m. than any other late news. See why Monday at 11.
That'd be one of those at-bats where I would think about throwing him a bunch of slop up there, would not be worried about walking him. Rupp's at-bat. Boom, boom, boom.
Jeremy 3 for 32 so far this season.
Got a nice stance up there. He looks a little hitterish, as they say. Probably hit 4th on his high school team.
I would think he did. Fouls it away. Jeremy was inducted into his high school's Hall of Fame this past December. Herbert Hoover High School out in Des Moines, Iowa. And the home plate umpire Eric Cooper, who is also a graduate of Herbert Hoover High School in Des Moines, Iowa, graduated in 1985. He is also part of the school's Hall of Fame. Asked Jeremy yesterday if he ever had a chance to, see Eric Cooper during the offseason, and he said it was at that Hall of Fame induction. There's about a 10-year difference between the two. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hellickson. Staying alive.
Yes, he is. Couple of good fastballs. Nice little off-speed pitch right there. I guarantee you he sees 2 runs out there. choked up a little on that bat. Oh, Jim. Contact.
Struck him out. 3 strikeouts for Suter. And the side is retired. The Phils leave a couple in scoring position. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. We'll head to the 3rd. Scoreless game. Be a question, log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, thank you for being honest, Michael, who holds the Brewers record for most consecutive complete games with 9 in 1978? The answer will be revealed a little later in the game. That's a tough question.
Love the stump. Love the stump. I'm on that.
Considering they were in the American League at that time.
Complete game.
Yeah.
That could be. Yes, that's another guy.
Johnny wrote down one name. Mike wrote down another. Neither is correct, but both excellent guesses.
You think of him, John? That guy right there. You probably can't read that, right?
Thank you, Mike, for being honest. I knew you couldn't see it anyway. Here's Arcia to lead it off. I have to think of a hint for this answer. This is a tough one, I think.
The Brewers. Jeez. Who pitched for the
78.
Brewers? Anybody we've ever heard of?
Bob McClure pitched for them in '78, but that's not the right answer. First pitch to Arcia is taken outside.
He was a junior in high school. Trying to think of who.
This guy won he won 93 games in his big league career. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He pitched for 7 teams.
Oh, well, that narrows it down.
Mike, were you an All-Star in '78? Do you remember?
Nope.
He was.
Do I remember?
Yeah.
Yep. Nope.
One ball, 1 strike to Arcia. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. I will say that if there's any way you can get a hold of either Larry Boa or Greg Luzinski, they might know the answer because of the All-Star game in 1978.
Let me just announce that my text line is open for anyone out there watching us.
Here's the 1-2 pitch.
Sal Payone, help me out.
Single up the middle.
Was it that one?
It was not that one. That's a good guess, too. You're throwing out names that I would have thought.
Are you saying Mike Caldwell?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got 1 upper deck home run in my career. 1 that's dating Mike Caldwell. Funny how things like that come on. Just that's my only Caldwell memory.
He was there last week when they honored the '82 team.
Got to brag a little bit.
Suter bunts it back to the mound. Hellickson's thinking 2. He's going to get the runner at second. And that is it. So that's a good play.
I would have thought bad play. You know, it looked to me like that wasn't a bad bunt, but Hellickson, good athlete, turned it into the right play.
Yeah, watch how he gets positioned here. He doesn't charge in straight. Look how he starts turning his body to second. So all it is a catch and a throw. If he had to catch that and then turn his body, there's no way he gets RC at second base. Good pick by Freddie too, but
yep, automatic Freddie out there.
Because he turned his body, got him by that half a step.
That'll bring Sogard to the plate, who flied out to left field his first time up. And it's outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Just looking there, we were going to talk about Freddie in the opening today. Looked at Freddie's stats for the year. 94 straight games. 94.
Yeah. On pace to do what he wants to do, and that's play all 162. Down the left field line. Long run for Howie Kendrick in foul territory, and it's out of play. This is the 95th game for Galvis.
Anybody else in the league played them all?
The last time we checked,
Carl,
there were 4 others that had played every game.
Yeah, right.
Try to update that by tomorrow and see who else has. There were only a handful that did it last year.
It's hard to do. You play 155, you've had a workman year.
Last year there were 3. Escobar, Jonathan Scope, and George Springer, who all played 162 games.
I assume Scope has played them all this year.
I think he has. I think he was on that list.
Yeah.
And I think Escobar and Hosmer were both on the list from the Royals. And I think there were 2 others. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sogard. In the dirt, and it's 2-2.
You played Cameron Rupp. Amazing how good young catchers are nowadays, blocking balls. It's amazing. They do a lot of work to perfect that move. Spring training.
Plus, he's a massive human.
Massive. Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts for Hellickson. That changeup has been dancing tonight. Yeah, there are 2 outs for Thames.
Like you said, though, this is a swing and miss team. They're trying to hit home run. This is our leadoff hitter, Sogard's, and but again, he hasn't been playing. He's been hurt. So even though he probably got some minor league ABs, I'm certain that he's over anxious. He used that aggressiveness, over anxiousness against him, and Hellickson with that changeup can do that.
He had 7 plate appearances in his minor league rehab. They wanted to activate him yesterday, but Craig Counsell said that he was a little sore and wanted to make sure, after playing in 4 consecutive games, that he would have a day off to recoup for today.
And his injury was
jammed left ankle. In fact, he was eligible last week when we were in Milwaukee to come off the DL, but he was not running on the field as of yet. He was running on the treadmill. 2 balls and no strikes to Thames. that man a hand for picking up that baseball.
That's that pitch in a 2-0 count back in our day that you wouldn't see it go off the opposite field dugout very often. You know what I mean, John? It would, like, you get a 2-0 pitch inside. How many hitters back in the day would foul that off the other dugout?
Like there?
Well, that's the one, that 2-0 pitch, you're locked on a fastball. Once you get a fastball in with 2-0, more than likely you pull it foul. Or smoke it somewhere. 2 strikes for sure. You know, you're guarding the plate. You might see the foul off in the opposite field. You know, when you're kind of guarding the plate and trying to poke at the ball a little bit. And be late on a 2-0 fastball.
Out in front of a changeup, but he rolls it foul. And it remains 2-2 to Eric Thames.
Having a heck of a year, though. 23 home runs, 44 ribbies.
I don't think he's had any since the break, though.
Yeah, it's been
we kept him intact.
It's been a quiet run for him.
I know when we were there, he had 23, right?
Yep.
Show you nice numbers, 53 base on balls. It's halfway to 100.
Inside, 3-2.
Show me a guy with 80 to 100 walks. I'll show you a valuable hitter.
I think you change up here. Hopefully he's aggressive.
Runner goes. Decided to throw him a fastball, and he fouls it back.
It probably wouldn't hurt to foul off a couple more.
And then throw the changeup?
Yeah, make Sutter run a little bit.
Yeah, he's over there.
It's amazing how that happens. Like, all them guys do is run in between starts. They run. They have to run the bases once or twice. They're like gassed.
Or at least the hitter's supposed to treat him like he's gassed, you know, back out of the batter's box. So, okay, you got your breath back?
He goes again. And a changeup floats outside. So that'll put runners on first and second. Time now for our Geico quote of the day. And then we turn our attention to Ryan Braun, who is up at the plate now. On the Central Division race, he said, obviously, we'd love to run away with this thing, but I don't think anyone realistically thought that would happen. The Cubs are a great team. The Pirates are a great team. We think the Cardinals are a great team. And we expect to be a race, it to be a race down the finish. Well, he also said that when asked to whether they should pick somebody up at the trade deadline, and he said, as you look at the standings, they're a half game ahead of Chicago, 2 over the Pirates. He said, all I can tell you is that when we acquired CC Sabathia, there was a psychological boost in 2008. Now, Sabathia went on to win 11 games, had a 1.65 ERA, and had 7 complete games for the Brewers.
Well, as a position player, you know, he doesn't want to, I want to say disrespect any of the players that are playing those positions on the team. So you want to say, well, we need to pick up a center fielder.
Yeah.
But you can comment on pitchers, you know, pitching staff, and say, you know, well, man, anybody'd like a really good pitcher.
Yeah, he also talked about when they acquired him. If you guys remember when they got Zach Greinke before the 2011 season, he won 16 games for them in 2011 in 1 year before he went on to the Angels. Inside 1-1.
And CC, remember that year he was pitching on 3 days rest pretty much the entire month of September.
He went for it.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people, writers and stuff, say he's hurting his value. You know, what if he gets hurt? You know, 3 days rest, he's going to wear down. And you know, how'd that work out for CC? Pretty good.
1-1 to Braun. And he lines it the opposite way. Williams on the run. He's not going to get it. It's a fair ball. 1 run is in. Thames to third. He's being waved home. The throw to the plate by Cesar is not in time. It's a 2-run extra base hit for Braun. And the Brewers take a 2-0 lead.
Wow. That is some big time good hitting right there with 2 men on base. Goes straight down the right field line with a line drive. Whew. That's some serious professional hitting right there. Now that's what I call a downswing. That's what I call not trying to lift the ball. I go back to change up 3-2.
To Thames.
To Thames. Didn't like that pitch. I don't know what John probably would agree with me, right, bro?
Yeah, I thought he might have thrown it 3-2 just to see if Thames would be aggressive with it. But like you said, though, 53 walks, now 54 for him. He has an idea of his strike zone, but again, it's a different hitter, Ryan Braun, than he was in Milwaukee. Milwaukee, Tom will tell you, I mean, our guys were just throwing fastballs by him. But he seems to be catching up to it today.
Yeah, the dirt. 1-1 strike.
Well, he lined that ball right by Hellickson the first time up, and right away that tells me, well, he's feeling pretty good tonight.
Maybe that 3 or 4 days off helped him.
And that one gets by Rupp, and that's going to enable Braun to score. And it's now 3-0 Brewers.
It might have been a cross-up.
It has been scored a wild pitch, and it's a 3-run inning for Milwaukee. Remember, during this losing streak, they scored a total of 12 runs in 6 games.
Well, that's definitely a wild pitch. That is way in there, almost hit the batter.
Fly ball to center field. Odubel's not going to get it. It'll get by him and go to the wall. Shaw, he'll get to second. He'll hold up there. Back-to-back doubles. And still 2 outs here in the 3rd. And Domingo Santana will be the hitter.
Odubel came up lame out there in center field.
Did look like he was a little slow, right?
Again, see where Cameron Rupp wanted that pitch. It was up. Where Odubel hurt his leg, maybe trying to stop the reverse field to get that ball.
Well, now Domingo Santana. This is becoming an extended inning for Jeremy Hellickson. This will be the 25th pitch. That one's looped out to center field. Shaw to third. He's being waved home. The throw to the plate by Odubel, cut off by Tommy Joseph, and it's 4-0. Brewers on top. Well, this is all happening with 2 outs.
And this is Milwaukee Brewers baseball. That quick strike offense they have. Not doing it with the long ball, but extra base hits, aggressive base running.
A little bit of an off the end. Looks like maybe change up there. Lucky for them, he did not hit it well. Probably would have been out if he hit it well, but stayed in the middle of the field. You got to give him credit. Hitting with men in scoring position.
Yeah, we mentioned that coming into this ball game, since the 8-run inning against Nick Pivetta, the Brewers had been 6 for their last 50 with runners in scoring position. Well, in tonight's game, they are now 3 for 3, or I should say 2 for 2, since Braun scored on the wild pitch. No balls and 1 strike to Bandy. Fly ball left center field. Odubel's on the run. He is able to get there to make the catch. Boy, that was a huge burst at the end by Odubel Herrera. I guess the leg is fine, and he wraps up this 3rd inning. However, the Brewers score 4 runs in the inning. Odubel Herrera makes sure it's not 5. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's the Brewers 4 and the Phillies nothing. Honda dealers. Heard of your local Del Val Honda dealer, or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by McDonald's, introducing the new signature crafted recipes at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Tonight before the ball game was photo night. Even with the threat of rain, we were able to get photo night in, which was great to see. There's Johnny. You're all mic'd up, John. Did you say anything bad?
Yes.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Cesar Hernandez leads it off.
I'm trusting that video Dan Stevenson will edit.
Or put it on a channel where you can watch it.
And if he doesn't edit, it's been great working with you guys. And a pleasure.
I was shocked with the weather that was impending, the impending storm, that so many folks still came out. It was great to see all of them. I met one season ticket holder who told me that a friend of his who he had season tickets with, Steve Bishop, had passed away earlier this week. And that ball is off the glove of Thames and goes into foul territory. And Cesar will be safe at first.
Don't see that very often.
Nope, that'll have to be an E3.
That's a whiff.
That is a whiff.
Wow.
6 errors now for Thames.
Thames looking up at the scoreboard. What did I do wrong there? Did a little late movement on that ball.
Oh yeah, right off the stuff.
John, you're the ex-first baseman. What did he do wrong there?
Well, I mean, I think anybody from Little League on up who's ever caught a ball realized what he did there. He just missed it.
There's no way to break that down, is there?
Let me break that down.
How about a clank, clank?
Yeah, let me give you the some sabermetric numbers on that. It's a whiff.
Galvis takes high, 1-0. Well, Cesar's at first. Error number 6 for Thames. Credit and assist for the shortstop on that one.
There you go.
Out towards second, spinning on one hop. Sogard has it. And a double play. Ooh.
Oh, boy. I think they're going to look at that.
I think they're going to have to, yeah.
Yeah, that's a close one. This will test the umpire's eyeballs right here.
Pat Murphy going to the phones.
You think what I'm thinking? Thumbs up, meaning out.
Yeah, I think he's out by a step. Well, Gary Cedarstrom, the crew chief.
I have GDP on my score.
I think you have to put it down there. Unless Gary thought his foot came off the bag, which it didn't by that replay. So Eric Cooper's to your left, Gary Cedarstrom's to your right. And by the way, I just want to finish that. So Steve Bishop passed away, longtime season ticket holder. We want to send our condolences out to his family as Cedarstrom signals out. Been a lot of season ticket holders today, and they are the bread and butter of the organization. Also today, there's Ben Davis carrying around my peanut butter cups, giving fists to people. That shirt, by the way, didn't make the cut for TV shirts that Ben's wearing. We have them.
Yeah, but it looks good on Ben because he's in shape.
Correct. It might look good on Mike.
Yeah, and Schmitty would look good.
Not in the red.
We have black.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I
don't want to say anything about wardrobe. Just happy to be here.
I don't think the.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think the vertical stripes would work on us. Or horizontal. What are those?
What they do? Give you guys things to hand out?
No, somebody gave me peanut butter cups.
Oh.
They're in the room. Thank you to whoever gave them to us.
That's why the striped shirts don't look good on us. The peanut butter cup.
Right. We wear checkered like I was wearing today. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kendrick. And he fouls it down the right field line. Howie, first time up, hit into a fielder's choice. Bouncer back to the mound. Suter has it. An underhand to first. No runs, no hits. There was 1 Brewers error. The Phillies didn't leave anybody. We've played 3 out to the 4th inning. It's Milwaukee 4 and the Phillies nothing. Be the 1 in 3 that epically fails. Order genuine HP toner cartridges from WB Mason. We'll deliver it straight to your printer for free. Nobody does it better than who but WB Mason. Brett Phillips leads it off. Phillips flying out to center his first time up. Curveball. Doesn't throw many curveballs tonight.
Normally after a 4-run inning, you might want to show him something else.
One ball, one strike to Phillips.
We're still stumped over this stump the fans.
Oh, you are? All right. I'm trying to think of a way that I can give you a hint that might put you over the top. And I really can't come up with one. I will tell you that at one point he was broadcasting for the Detroit Tigers, but I don't think that's going to help you at all.
Guy texted me and said, I don't hear well, but did you say my name on TV?
2-1 pitch.
Yeah, and we're looking for some input out there on this stump question.
2-2.
He announced for the Tigers.
He did. He had a morning talk show in Detroit. I know that. And then he announced for the Tigers as well. Got into a little bit of trouble with the law. A little bit. I honestly think this could be one of the toughest stump the fan questions we have had in years.
Why don't they soften these things up a little bit so we can get.
I think tomorrow will be your bounce back.
Who comes up with these?
John DeSangro.
Oh, there you go.
Associate producer. Swing and a miss. 5th strikeout.
Have to butter him up on the bus and the plane.
Let's give him the keys earlier.
I've been.
You know, John DeSangro's in the Ring of Honor at Temple University. He's got his name up on the.
There he is. There he is. He came up with that fast.
Oh yeah, we got that on file. See?
Guy handing him that thing looked like Pete Rose handing him that award.
Did look a little bit like Pete Rose. I was going to say Ben Davis. Garcia takes inside, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Broken back ground ball out towards second. 2 outs. Sunday, July 30th, when the Phillies take on the Atlanta Braves. That's a 1:35 first pitch, and children 14 and under will receive the Community Energy Fanatic Solar Bobble Body. Go to Phillies.com for more information.
Solar bobble.
Solar Bobble Body.
Oh, you should see it.
It's right
got
up
a
there next
solar
to your
strip.
next
Oh,
to
that
your
makes him bobble, makes him keep moving like ours in the booth here.
That right.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got you.
He's still moving under the TV next to the Mike Schmidt and the Harry Kalas statue.
Did your bobblehead come out?
Come out?
Yeah, last week.
How come no one saved me one?
I have one for you
I
on
can
my
get
desk.
you one.
Think you can pull some strings, Mike?
Absolutely. I'll sign it for you
Hey,
too.
this guy sent a gold Mike Schmidt to Goldschmidt of the Diamondbacks, so he'll get you one.
Goldschmidt to Goldschmidt?
Yeah, they had some gold
Wasn't my
bobbles.
idea. It wasn't my idea. Credit's got to go to
Scott Brandreth.
Yes.
1 ball, 1 strike to Suter. 1-2.
Was Paul Goldschmidt appreciative of the
Yes, we have
Schmidt?
apparently have some photos of him getting it and signing it, and he's sending something to me now. Looking forward to that.
You need anything from Paul Goldschmidt, John? While Schmidt's getting some stuff.
No.
Don't forget. Well,
6 strikeouts for Hellickson. Brewers
I don't
go
think you
down
know
in
how
order.
popular you are.
We go to the bottom of the 4th. 4-0 Milwaukee. Favorite model today, Toyota. Let's go places. Maikel Franco will lead things off as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. A humid night. Ashburn Alley's got a little movement to it. Folks are lining up to get some cheesesteak, some pizza, or maybe some ice cream. Some Primo's Hoagies. Brent Suter, the 27-year-old out of Cincinnati, delivers a strike to Maikel Franco.
Well, we had the answer because we cheated a little bit.
Oh, did you get any help from anybody, or just searching the internet?
Siri.
I want to see if Bull remembers. 1-2 to Franco, who has scored at least a run in 5 consecutive games. Well, he threw a cutter at him. And that's 4 strikeouts. Time now for the Citizens Bank Minor League Report. Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. Well, Lehigh Valley lost to Durham yesterday, but Rhys Hoskins hit his 21st. Scott Kingery hit his 5th in AAA, so that's 23, I believe, now in the minors. Reading defeated Erie 4-3. Court Sandberg with a walk-off home run. Clearwater lost to Bradenton at Williamsport. They won their ball game. Hoskins has hit another home run today. They're in the 7th inning. He's hit his 22nd. And Lehigh Valley leads Durham 6-1. Scott Kingery has a triple, an RBI, and a run scored.
Struggling right along, isn't he?
He sure is. It's nice, though, to see that he's continued to hit at the next level. You know, whenever his arrival here in Philadelphia happens, I think it's comforting that he had a good year at AA, earned the promotion, and now he's hitting in AAA too.
When I was in the minor leagues, they used to say it was harder to hit in AA than it was in AAA, because AAA had a lot of guys that were kind of on their way out at the end of their career.
You were bouncing back and forth.
Couldn't make the major league team. Yeah, experience, yes, but
they were like,
unlike AA, where all the teams, ready to go prospects were.
5 strikeouts for Suter as Tommy Joseph goes down looking. Well, you think about the success that the minor leagues are having right now as you look at this pitch to Tommy Joseph.
wow.
Frozen.
Yes, he was.
From a Phillies standpoint, you have the leader in home runs in the International League. You have the leader in home runs in the Eastern League, as Nick Williams swings through that pitch 0-1. And you've got the leader in home runs in the South Atlantic League, the leader in home runs in the New York Penn League at the beginning of this week.
Who's leading in the Eastern League? Is Kingery still leading?
No. Mitch Walding. I always get Mitch Walding and Andrew Poulin confused. 1-2. Poulin was promoted up to Lehigh Valley. He was starting to hit some homers, but Walding, he's hitting in the 250s last time I looked, but he's hitting home runs.
Boy, he does work fast. He's breathing hard because he's working so fast. He's successfully working fast.
Little dribbler to the right of the mound.
Plus he's sprinting into the dugout.
1-2-3 go the Phils. That's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the 5th. 4-0 Milwaukee. take on the New York Mets. All fans coming to the ballpark will receive the Pete Rose bobble figurine, courtesy of Toyota. It's all part of Alumni Weekend, sponsored by Toyota. The next day, Pete will go onto the Wall of Fame here at Citizens Bank Park. So Friday is the bobble figurine, and then Saturday is the placement onto the Wall of Fame. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Here's Sogard, who takes a breaking ball for strike one. Sogard, who missed last year because of a knee injury.
Looks like Tom Hume. Remember Tom Hume?
Yeah, pitcher for the Reds. Down the
Looks
left
like
field
a
line.
twin.
Well, he took a lot of heat when he was with the A's wearing those glasses. In fact, some of the A's fans and players started, every time he did something good, said it was nerd power. And he said, I was a little offended at first when they started saying that. He said, but then I kind of bought into it. He said, because I need him to play. Outside, 1-2.
Pretty harsh of his teammates, isn't it? The man needs glasses to play.
Can't imagine a teammate doing that to somebody.
So insensitive, those guys.
2-2. He was not the everyday second baseman when the season began, but hit his way into the starting lineup.
Those are pretty thick too, those glasses.
Outside, 3-2.
You know what draws attention to them is that they're like everyday, everyday glasses.
Correct.
Wearing on the field as opposed to, sport goggles.
Not like the Oakley prescription.
Or the
I didn't want to say that
prescriptions.
word. I didn't know whether we were.
But my son wears those when he plays. The Oakley prescription, the transition lens.
Does he have trouble like getting used to them on the field if he's wearing contacts off the field?
He doesn't wear contacts. He tried one day. Tried to put them in his eye one day. His patience is similar to mine. And once he couldn't get them in,
game over.
I'll never try these again.
Fly ball center field. And Odubel makes the catch, one out. Eric Thames is coming up. Monday morning wake up with NBC 10 News today with Tracy, Vi, Bill, and Jessica. News, weather, and traffic to get you and your family up and out the door. Weekdays, 4:30 and 7 a.m. Count on it. Eric Thames has walked and he has struck out. Scored a run back in the third. Towering pop-up foul off the third base line.
Dame's got a nice approach, John. Boy, he waits a long time and fires those hips.
Yeah, it's amazing. They had to play 3 years in Korea before a team would give him a chance, really.
Yeah, there's nobody that has gone over and has come back that has had success like this since Cecil Fielder. Thames is the first one to be able to have this kind of success after struggling before he went over. And Fielder erupted when he came back from playing in Japan.
And I tell you, I bet you can learn something over there. They're so tuned into fundamentals and drills, and unusual drills.
Tell Schmitty what we found out in Milwaukee.
So when he was over in Korea, he said that he became better because he had so much time on his hands because he couldn't communicate with anybody.
And what did he find?
He found Zen.
He found his Zen.
Yes, that's what he said. He found his Zen because he couldn't communicate with anybody, so he spent all of his time just thinking about how to become a better baseball player.
I think that's pretty good. Admirable.
Well, got him a 3-year
Well, I
contract
never found
with the Brewers.
mine, but that's pretty much what I did. I'm still looking for that.
Yeah, that Zen's been.
I'm looking for it in golf for sure.
Yeah, Zen's kind of skipped over.
Well, maybe your son will find it, John.
Well, I hope so. Seems to have worked for Eric Thames.
Woo. Oh, that ball's a little in, huh? Hellickson wanted that pitch.
Take a look. Pitch cast presented by Mazda. It was close.
Just a little bit inside.
Two pitch to Thames. And he fouls it again.
He's got a good idea. Need left-handed hitters out there watching the game tonight. Keep an eye on this stroke. I know it's only a 258 batting average right now, but boy, he's got a good idea. Waits back a long time.
And he pulls that into right field for a base hit. So he's been on base twice tonight. There's a 1-out single. That'll bring Ryan Braun to the plate. He's provided us with our Toyota turning point. That was back in the 3rd with his 2-run double.
Yeah, line drive to right field. Smitty said it. Just a great piece of hitting from a guy who knows a thing or two about driving in runs. He scores the first 2 runs, drives in the first 2 runs of this game, and they tacked on a couple more. And those are that is our Toyota turning point of the game. Let's hope we have a Phillies Toyota turning point of the game before long.
Well, Braun is 2 for 2. Down the right field line, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
There's a indication that Hellickson's a little off on his location of his fastball. Cameron Rupp asking for that ball in under his hands, and he threw it on the outside corner.
And that's the thing. If you're throwing 97, you might be able to get away with that every once in a while. When you're throwing 90, 90, 91. Better come close to where you're trying to throw it.
Looks like Ricardo Pinto is starting to throw in the bullpen for the Phils. Hellickson is at 83 pitches. And Rupp blocks that one and keeps it around the area so Thames doesn't advance.
You know, I always thought the inside, the up and in purpose pitch on the first pitch was the wrong time. I always believe it. If you throw ball 1, you got to get that, you know, you get that hitter in a go mode as a hitter, and that's a good time to come up and in on him. You know what I mean? When, in other words, if you do it on the first pitch, he pretty much knows it's out of the way. All right, you know, they want to back me off the plate a little bit, and then you go back to hitting. But if you do it later in the count in the at bat, it's more effective. And he's throwing Braun right now. I mean, after 2 for 2 with a single and a double, he's got 2. He's had 2 pitches right out over the plate for Braun to hit. Luckily, he missed them both. But I think that pitch right there was the same ball he hit for a double.
Yeah, he was in pull mode there, though. He's trying to leave Earth. The other one, he's just trying to drive in a run.
Fly ball left center field. That's pretty well hit. Odubel going back, and it is gone. Ryan Braun just continues to haunt the Phillies. He is now 3 for 3 in this ball game. He is a triple away from the cycle.
All right, here we go. I don't know about showing them up right now.
The Brewers take a 6-0 lead. I guess the calf's okay. I guess the wrist is okay.
Well, the size of the ballpark and a nice loose hitter that knows all he's got to do is center the ball. And I don't even think, he just kind of reached out and put the meat of the bat on the ball. And it's a Ryan Braun Citizens Bank Park night.
297 home runs now for Braun. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Here it is. He actually kind of dipped down and collapsed to get to that ball. Kind of like just wanting to put it in play. Put it in play in the seats.
Yeah, we know when it starts getting hot, this ballpark, it jumps everywhere. And I don't know if it put it out of reach, but
Made it pretty high.
makes it a little more difficult for us.
Adam Morgan now starts to throw in the bullpen. So the Phillies get their long man up. 3-1 to Shaw, who doubled his last time up.
Wow, 69 ribbies.
Yeah, he and Thames acquired in different ways this past offseason have certainly helped boost their home run and their OPS numbers. Ball 4, Shaw walks. Bob McClure is coming up toward the stairwell. And he's heading out to chat with Hellickson. No move made yet as Morgan continues to loosen up. Well, this has not been Jeremy's night, and look at his pitch count alone. You see the frustration. Not sure what a pitching coach can even say at this point except for stall time. Give him a breather.
Yeah, this is a situation. They had Pinto up. Thought maybe if Braun got on, Shaw got on, he might bring Pinto in to try to get Santiago out, or Santana out. I'm sorry. But now that Braun hit the 2-run homer, you're trying to give your long guy and Adam Morgan enough time to get going. If they have to bring him in now, it's a double switch. So Morgan can go more than 1 inning.
Santana singled homer run his last time up. And he hits that one to shortstop. That should be 2. There's 1 and 2. 6-4-3 double play. That'll wrap up the 5th inning. But Ryan Braun has struck again. He has 4 RBIs to help the Brewers to a 6-0 lead.
Well, maybe sometimes there's some crying in baseball. Sadie just did not understand why the Milwaukee Brewers did not win that game, but it does all end, guys, happily, because the Padres later on that day, after she became a Twitter sensation with the video that you just saw, they sent her up donuts and said, we hope this will make up for the fact that your dad's home run didn't win them the game last night. She seemed to enjoy the donuts, so all ended well. But Sogard has been a remarkable story for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, it's been a great pickup. Think about that. I mean, think about the 3 guys they've picked up between Sogard, Thames, and Shaw, and the contributions that those 3 have given this team this year. And I don't want to say that it's totally unexpected, but I mean, for the most part, nobody saw it all coming. As Odubel lays off, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, this is really out of nowhere, and you know, and then you go to the back of their bullpen. Knebel, you didn't know what.
Yeah, they had Neftali Feliz
Yeah.
to start the year closing.
Yeah, so they didn't know if he could. You know, once Feliz struggled, he didn't know if Knebel could do it, but lo and behold, he's doing a great job at the back end of their bullpen. I was reading today that rumors that rumors are that the Brewers are talking to the Tigers about Ian Kinsler possibly. So what's that do with Sogard, though?
Maybe he makes him a super utility guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're managing a team or you're on a team, you love Eric Sogard and what he brings to the table, but Ian Kinsler could be a game changer.
No question. 2-2 to Odubel Herrera. And Odubel pulls it down the right field line. It is gone! A bullet out of the ballpark for Odubel Herrera. And he gets the Phillies on the board. It's a 6-1 ball game.
A good at bat by Odubel. He went up there aggressive. Laid off, but had a nice take there with 2 strikes on a ball just off the outside corner. Got the inside fastball. Boom. I think he knew he got that one.
That's a laser out of the ballpark. It wins on Nicole Hellier of Ben Salem, $100. Thanks to the McDonald's home run jackpot.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
So Odubel now with 9 home runs, 2 extra base hits tonight.
Cameron's in a little bit of a crouch now. I don't recognize that. I thought he stood up a little taller in the batter's box. Maybe he's made some adjustments, trying some. It looks like he's kind of crouched over a little bit more.
Broken back ground ball. He just broke the Carlos Ruiz bat that he was using. 6-3 on the putout. And here comes Ty Kelly to pinch hit. Daniel Nava is battling a little bit of a hamstring injury. We showed it last night when he pulled into second base. Pete said today it was just day to day. Having some coconut water, keep himself hydrated.
I've heard good things about that coconut water.
I use it during the basketball season. If I have more than 1 game in a day, keeps it going.
I like coconut, so I'll maybe give it a run.
Kelly hits it out to right center field. And it's run down by Phillips. 2 outs. And we go back to the top of the order for Cesar Hernandez. Phillips with the looking at the cue card to see where he should line up for Cesar Hernandez.
Wow.
Saw Hernan Perez have that last night.
But this is 3rd at bat.
I know. We've seen catchers wear the wristbands that give you a little cue on how to pitch a hitter.
Not a bad idea now. have a position card in your
third
in
at
your
bat.
pocket.
But the third at bat with the same pitcher pitching.
See, the card told him where to go.
Out to right center field, and he's able to get that one too. Well, the card has given him the proper direction. We'll head to the 6th. Brewers on top 6-1. Of the week is still new, still adjusting to the major league level, but has been having a grand old time getting started. Nick Williams arrived on the final day of June, and his first summer has been no vacation for opposing pitchers. The 23-year-old has driven in 12 runs with 3 homers and a very productive 9 extra base hits in just his first 16 games. Nick's journey has just begun. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Phillies are down 6-1, but fans still enjoying themselves here at Citizens Bank Park. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Little day baseball tomorrow. Adam Morgan will take over for Jeremy Hellickson here in the 6th inning. Adam so far in the year 0-1 with a 6.04 earned run average. And he will face Bandy, Phillips, and Arcia for the Milwaukee Brewers. Tonight it's been the Ryan Braun show for the most part. He has 4 RBIs, 3 hits. Singled his first time up, doubled his second time up, homered in the 5th inning. Hopefully we won't see him for an inning or 2. As Bandy will lead it off. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to center on a good play by Odubel Herrera. First pitch lined into right field, a base hit. Well, tomorrow, if you're coming out to the ballpark and you're 14 and under, get somebody to drive you, first of all. And when you get here, you'll get the Pico Odubel Herrera Performance T-shirt. Go to Phillies.com. Tickets are still available. El Torito is on the back. And his hook'em horns on the front.
First pitch fastball, I guess. Just stroke one into right field. That's pretty good discipline. Looking fastball, hit it to right field.
Brett Phillips is 0 for 2. He's flied out and struck out.
You know, Phillips has the glasses on, but those look like the Oakleys.
They do. And he doesn't wear them in the field usually either. Just at the plate.
But I guess when the ball gets past 60 feet, 6 inches,
I
he
don't
can
know.
follow it.
I noticed that last night he wasn't wearing them out in the field.
Yeah, that's odd.
It's very odd. That's why I was wondering, you know, you figure you put them on, it takes a little time to adjust. Ball gets away from Rupp. And Bandy goes up to second.
know if Cameron tried to glove that or
Just a bit outside.
Yeah, I think he just missed the trajectory of it.
well, normally that ball, because it was a breaking ball, would bounce back toward him. Maybe that's what he was planning on. Tell you what, this ain't a clean game, is it?
No. Outside, 2-2. Looks like Phillips is going to be the everyday center fielder since Keon Broxton was sent down to AAA. He has 2 home runs, both against the Phils.
In his career.
In his career. So he becomes the second player this year to hit his first 2 major league home runs against the Phillies. The other one is, well, has gone on to have an excellent rookie season. Yeah, that's Cody Bellinger.
He did him in the same game?
Yes.
He did him in different series.
Yeah. 1 out here in the 6th. And now Arcia is coming up.
You seen Bellinger swing it?
Kid from the Dodgers.
No, actually.
He got called up when
we were there.
End of April?
Was that when we were there? Yeah. And they said he was only coming up for just a few days.
Now he's batting 4th for the best team with the best record in the National League, right?
Yep. Was in the home run derby and was in the All-Star game.
24 homers now?
I think he's got more than that. Carl, what's Bellinger have home run wise?
Just coming up for a week till someone gets healthy.
0-2 to Arcia. .26. You were close, John. I thought it was closer to 30.
He must have started pitching around him.
Inside.
Ward's got a big breaking slider tonight. He can start breaking 3 feet across the strike zone.
I've never seen that before. That big a break from him. Have you?
Not this year. I think in past years maybe, but he threw 2/3 of an inning against the Marlins. There's a ground ball through the hole on the left side of base hit. They're going to hold Bandy at 3rd. 1st and 3rd with 1 out, and Suter will bat here in the top of the 6th inning.
So you keep an eye on the defense now, and becomes a interesting play for the 3rd baseman. Suter gets the bunt down. I guess you can assume with a 6-1 lead and 1 out, still a bunt situation.
I would think to either just move the runner up to second base or maybe some kind of a safety squeeze. You don't have a lot of speed over at first.
And the catcher Bandy's on 3rd, so
Suter got the bunt down last time he was up.
And he bunts it toward 3rd. It's a fair ball. They've got the runner now caught between home and 3rd. That was an excellent recognition on the part of Michael Franco. Not the best if you're Bandy over at 3rd base, though. John, do you think the game's getting a little crazy, or? Yeah, that ball was bunted hard.
yeah, I mean, if that ball gets past.
Here we go.
That ball gets past Franco. That's a could roll around in the corner over there. Yeah, I mean, look how. I mean, that's a rocket.
I guess you can't let that ball go because it's bunted so hard. It may hit the bag or stay just fair.
Could have.
You got to get an out on the play.
It might have been a ground rule double if he lets it go. There's a lot of hitters right now that like to hit one that hard. Full swing.
Well, now Sogard, who's 0 for 3 in this game. 0-1.
Where's he going?
He was pretty far off the bag.
It looked like he was trying to time Adam Morgan to steal third.
Down and away.
I'm assuming if you're fast enough to steal third, you're probably fast enough to score on a single with 2 outs. Just a guess.
I would think so.
Did you like that when a guy was on second dancing around back and forth? And
You know who drove me crazy was Vince Coleman.
Out to left field. Kendrick coming on, dives and makes the catch. Turns out to be a scoreless inning for Adam Morgan. His defense helped him along the way. First Franco and now Howie Kendrick. Fresh off the DL. Feeling pretty good. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. On ShopChooseNissan.com. By WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. And by your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com. Well, the Phillies trail at 6-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Trying to find some offense against the lefty Brent Suter, who so far has allowed 4 hits and 1 run over 5. We mentioned the struggles the Brewers have had. They had scored only 12 runs during this 6-game losing streak. That included a 4-game losing streak to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Craig Counsell said that he always liked going back to Pittsburgh because every time he goes back, he gets a chance to spend some time with his former manager, Jim Leyland, and he spent a lot of time with Jim Leyland this past week. Counsell was part of that '97 Marlins team that won the World Championship that Leyland managed. In fact, he scored the run in Game 7.
Edgar Renteria.
Yep. Counsell said of Leyland, he said he's a special person. You can learn a lot from him. You have to just soak everything in. And that's what I try to do as a player, and that's what I try to do even now when I talk to him. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. I always wondered whether Leyland, after winning that World Baseball Classic this year, if he ever thought, I got to get back into the dugout. But I think he thought the opposite. I'm content. I won a gold medal. I won a world championship, and I'm okay with retirement.
He's probably held in, well, he is held in very high esteem, respected immensely for his baseball knowledge, ability to handle people. He's not in, but he's sure not far away.
No, I agree. Kendrick is 0 for 2.
He's a beauty.
And he lines it to left, so he's 1 for 3.
I used to love talking to him. Just baseball. You know, you want to talk about honesty.
His assessments.
Well, the September call-ups, and you're around the batting cage, and you could ask, hey, what's this kid have? This young kid. You should get 2 off him. He's this. Tell you everything he has, and was perfectly honest with you, and that's what he had. Well, like he was, you know, oh, this guy's going to be a star. He's throwing, you know, 95 and big breaking ball, great changeup, great command. Very honest man.
Franco fouls it off to the right, and it's 0-1. I had forgotten that Leland still lived in Pittsburgh. I thought he was outside Detroit, but they said he always, in the offseason, once the Detroit season was over, he'd go back to Pittsburgh. Bouncer to third. They might be able to turn 2 here. Nope. Franco is able to beat it. 5-4 on the putout at second. Time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer.
Grilled peppers.
That has nothing to do with the answer. Just to kind of get you off the beaten path a little bit. All right, so who holds the Brewers record for most consecutive complete games with 9 in 1978?
Well, my good friend Siri.
Always lean on Siri, Mike.
His name is Larry Sorensen.
Larry Sorensen.
And I would have never gotten it, John. You definitely
I'm still waiting for Bull to get back to me.
Seriously. Tommy Joseph pops one up the third base line in foul territory. Inning is over. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. And contact Siri if you want to know everything you want to know about Larry Sorensen. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. Well, Ryan Braun's been the story for the Brewers. He has 4 of the 6 RBIs tonight. Jeremy Hellickson allowed 6 earned runs in 5 innings of work. And Brent Suter has been very good through 6. He has struck out 5. And as we begin the top of the 7th, it'll be Thames, Braun, and Shaw. Against Adam Morgan, it's 0-1 to Thames, who has also scored 2 runs. And 2.
Might as well fire up another one up there. A little breaking ball. Try to make this one a little further away. See if he'll chase.
almost did.
Talking to himself, Michael.
Yep. It's from all that time in Korea where he didn't have anybody to talk to. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good pitch. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Morgan. Time now for our timeless moment. Here's Greg Murphy.
All right, thanks, Tom. Brought to you by Coors Banquet. July 22nd, 1966, Clay Dalrymple breaks up a no-hitter by Giants pitcher Gaylord Perry with an 8th inning single. It's the second time the Phillies catcher had spoiled a no-hit bid in the 8th inning at Candlestick Park as he collected the only hit in Juan Marichal's debut in 1960. How about that? It's our Coors Banquet timeless moment.
Those are some tough pitchers to do that against. Clay Dalrymple, 80 years old. Played for not only the Phillies but also the Baltimore Orioles. Braun is a triple away from the cycle. And
not real popular here in Philly, is he?
I would think that's the reception he gets in most big markets.
29 other cities.
Yep, I would think
other than Milwaukee.
Yeah, they don't seem to have that same feeling about him in Milwaukee.
Adam Morgan went up to 95 on that last fastball. The old 2-0 changeup.
Yeah, dialed it down.
Here's your Citizens Bank Park stats on Ryan Braun.
Yeah, 398. 11 home runs here. I think it's Lucas Duda who is the leader, active leader in home runs at Citizens Bank Park.
Bryce Harper's not doing too bad.
Bryce Harper is there. Three balls and 1 strike. And ball 4. He walks. Travis Shaw's coming up. Who has doubled and scored. He's also walked tonight. He has 2 hits in 17 at-bats against the Phillies so far.
1 homer.
It was a shot too.
Yes, it was, and a double. But I mean, other than that, though, we've contained him pretty well. One ball and 1 strike. Looking at the scoreboard around baseball, I mentioned the Cubs already won today, so they're a half game behind the Brewers. They defeated St. Louis. Pittsburgh is trailing Colorado in the 5th inning 4-2. They came back and won last night. Pirates have won 6 straight games, over 500 for the first time since April 10th. And Andrew McCutchen is hitting .294 with 17 home runs. It's amazing how quick things turn, isn't it? I mean, he went from possibly traded to
focusing on that when we were there. You know, you guys talked about him a lot, and it was kind of like He had been in the middle of a really hot month, I believe, when the Phillies were in town.
And it's just carried over.
And I'm sure the suspension of Starling Marte had, you know, they were content on having him in.
Tommy Joseph, his throw is high and it goes into left field, so Braun's on his way to third.
Oh.
And it gets away from Howie Kendrick. And Braun will score. Well, this is not going to go down as the poster game for pretty baseball if you're the Phils.
You know, I was about to say, why are you throwing over? There's no way Ryan Braun's going to run now, just coming off that calf injury. 6-1 lead.
Yeah, I think we're debating that calf thing. I mean, he was running.
Tommy just let that throw sail.
Yeah,
and then
Freddie
somehow
got kicked a little bit as well on that play.
Well, it is now 7-1 Brewers. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shaw. He hits it down the left field line.
There's 2 errors on that play, correct?
2 errors, yes. Stolen base for Braun. E3 to allow him to go to third. E7 to allow him to score.
Did you get that?
No, I'm done.
You in a bad mood?
Well.
Out to right field. That was a hanger. And it is. I thought it was gone.
Yes, it was.
It's off the fence, they say.
Well, I hope it's. They better hope they replay it and it's gone, because Nick threw it back up in the stands.
Yeah, it went off the seat. Nick did throw it back into the stands. I think it hit his seat and came back.
Yeah, but the second base umpire ran out and said safe, like that's not a homer.
Yeah,
No, it's definitely a homer. I mean, I think everyone here knew it, but the second base umpire ruled it safe, ball in play.
Yeah.
And Nick got it and threw it up in the stands. Hey, why not, huh?
Yeah, what's the rule on that if it wasn't a home run?
All right, so there we go. It is a home run. Gabe Morales getting a little help.
That's what's fascinating to me, how 3 other umpires who are a lot farther away can convince him.
I can see it.
The closest one couldn't.
Take a look just to make sure. Yep, over the fence.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no doubt.
What's Nick here? He apparently saw it.
Oh, that guy almost did a split.
Bling.
Nick sees it. But what if there wasn't? Oh, man, that'd have been.
Got to sell it.
Yeah, I mean.
Santana takes low. 1 ball, no strikes.
What would be the ruling on that?
If he threw it into the stands?
Would Shaw just get to third because he's already established first base?
Well, he was at. It depends on where he was.
Yeah, he wasn't at second yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that would depend on where he was.
Can you imagine?
Get the rule book out, Tom.
Player
throws ball in stands while in play.
Swing and a miss. 2-1.
It's not a bad move if you know a guy's going to score. Toss it up in the stands.
You remember Larry Walker caught one?
Oh, yeah.
He handed it to a fan and then realized there was only 2 outs. He had to go back and get it from him.
Fan threw the hit cutoff man.
Down the right field line out of play.
Well, this has kind of gotten away from us, hasn't it?
It has. Outside just a bit. And ball 4. That is the second walk issued by Morgan in this inning. And that will bring Jet Bandy to the plate. Well, there's a lot of optimism coming into this game the way the Phillies had played, but momentum was stopped by Suter, but also by the 10 hits that the Brewers have put together. A little sloppiness by the Phils.
Yeah, they helped out, but you would assume right now with an 7-run lead, 7th inning, you maybe shut down the running game, but who knows.
Curveball, 0-1.
Well, I don't believe they'll be stealing with a 7-run lead in the 7th.
Over to third base. Let's see if they can turn 2. 1 and 2. Around the horn, 5-4-3 double play. 2 runs do score. 2 errors by the Phils. A home run by Travis Shaw. Time to stretch. It's 8-1. Brewers on top. The Phillies will wrap up this homestand against the Atlanta Braves. It's a 12:35 first pitch. We invite you to come out to the ball game for that. But then after the game, that youngster right there and all youngsters who are 14 and under, thanks to the folks at Nemours, can run the bases after the game. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets for the Phils and the Atlanta Braves. A youngster going a little old school. Hernan Perez will take over out in left field for the Brewers. And Oliver Drake is the new pitcher.
This might be the only pitcher, Oliver Drake, that looks like he's throwing uphill.
Yeah.
Very unique delivery.
He really squats down, doesn't he?
Really squats down on that back leg and
swing and a miss, and it's 0-1 to Williams, who's 0 for 2.
Well, he struck out Nick in Milwaukee. Remember, with that same pitch, kept throwing that changeup away.
And that hurts to watch that delivery.
Wow. It's a lot of upper body too, it seems. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Got to be deceptive, though.
Must look like a heater every time he lets it go.
He's got to be very deceptive. Can you imagine him and Neshek going back-to-back innings? Hitters wouldn't know what to do.
Fouled away.
That's the thing, too. Look at that, 94. He's got that great change-up, and then that rushes 94 up there on you.
Williams has flied out to center field and grounded one just to the right of the mound his last time up. And he loops that one over towards short, caught by Arcia. And one away here in the 7th.
So the answer to the trivia question is Larry Sorensen. Bull just let me know.
Oh, did he let you know? Did he give you any specifics about that game?
No.
Was he out at the barbecue tonight?
Well,
He must have been.
you just said Sorensen, sorry, was busy, got your text late.
Here's Odubel, who is 2 for 2 today. By the way, that answer to your question, we thought it was 2 bases as far as Shaw goes. I think it is by rule. It's 2 bases. There's a fair ball for Herrera. Speaking of 2 bases, and he's going to get to second for his second double of the night. He's now 3 for 3. 31 doubles now is a career high for Odubel as he eclipses the 2015 total of 30.
I think Odubel, little, kind of wants to get out of that 7 hole, move up in the lineup. He got to that one pretty quick, down and in.
Hey, I believe with an 8, you know, you're down 7 runs in the 7th inning. Let it fly. You're going to get some early at-bat fastballs. You might as well take advantage of them. What the heck?
And you wonder if they will move him up out of the, the bottom of this order, or if they feel like, all right, he is hitting. Let's just keep him here.
Well, don't forget a left-hander started the game tonight.
But he's been locked in this spot for a while. Cameron Rupp takes upstairs 1-0. One ball and 1 strike. Pitch in the dirt. So anyway, to wrap it up, it is 2 bases, but I wonder what where they would have said Shaw was if he was at second.
He was about halfway to second.
Halfway to second, so he would go to third then. Because my understanding is that it's the same as a thrown ball from a position player into the stands. It's got to be under the same category. Two and 1.
Odubel's a tough guy to put in the lineup. You know, he gets hits. He's durable. He plays every day. He has those darn streaks, though.
He is streaky,
and he's not what you call, an RBI guy. He's hit in the early part of the batting order, third, second, a couple times first. He's not a big run producer, but he gets hits. He can lead the league in hits easily. It's kind of a tough thing that Pete has with him in the batting order. I would think if Odubel was hitting, in 290, 300, having that kind of a year, he probably would be the 2-hole hitter on a consistent basis.
You probably have to remind him to take some pitches, though.
Well, up in that part of the batting order, you have to learn that you're there to get on base. Getting on base, part of getting on base is taking the walk when they'll give it to you and scoring runs.
Cameron Rupp takes a walk that puts runners on first and second.
Wow.
And Cameron Perkins will come up.
With a changeup, slider, breaking ball.
That's right. 8-1 lead. You got to want to strike somebody out bad, don't you? Or excuse me, with an 8-1 score.
Especially a guy who's struggling. Has been struggling all year.
Yeah.
It could be the ticket to some earned runs for this pitcher.
Perkins lines it down the left field line. It's a fair ball going to the corner. 1 run is in. Rupp's on his way to third, and he's being held there. It's an RBI double, 8-2.
Yeah, there
Phillies
you go.
down by 6.
Throw that 3-2 change up to Cameron Rupp with an 8-1 lead. Watch that earned run average go up.
Man, that makes no sense, but you know, again, you're right though, Michael. You're down 8-1. You just walked the guy. You got a pretty good idea that first pitch is going to be something fastball, just trying to get ahead. You don't let him. Cameron Perkins didn't let him. He gets the RBI. And, 1 out. You know, potential for a bigger inning. I might have to break my pen back out.
Well, Cesar is up with a chance to drive in a couple more. Put some heat on him here with 1 man down. Cesar 0 for 3, 4 for 18 since his return. And it's 0-1.
You get a couple of runs in this inning now, and worst case, walk out of here 8-4. You back in the ball game.
Yep. Just a bit high on that one.
I know in a game like this, like you want to see their closer. That means you're getting closer. But you know you got a day game tomorrow, and if you can get their closer in the game, that means he's had to use probably his 2 best relievers in the 8th and 9th inning.
In the air to right center field. That's well hit. It is gone. 3-run home run, and the Phils have cut the lead to 3.
Hang some earned runs on that guy.
6th home run of the year for Cesar Hernandez.
Nice at bat there too. Took a first pitch fastball.
Putting a little doubt in their heads.
Yeah, absolutely. And now it's a 3-run game, and Craig Counsell now is going to have to get his big guns up in the bullpen, but they ain't done yet.
Come on, John. Now
I got the pen back out.
Here,
But I
you
have
can
missed,
copy mine.
I will after the inning.
Okay.
After the inning, I'll copy, but beautiful thing.
Nope. Well, Cesar's home run is first since the 27th of May against Cincinnati. Derek Johnson goes out to talk to Drake. Well, the Drake has given up 4 runs here in the 7th. 407 feet. It was a no-doubter.
Maybe 8-1. They still should have been running.
Well,
huh?
now you have to go back with a little bit of a different attitude as hitters now. I mean, this is a real ball game now. Now we need base runners. Attaboy. Even though it's a strike, you got to try to get base runners.
No balls and 1 strike to Freddie. Freddie 1 for 3 in the game. A single his first time up, a double play his second time, and he flied out to center. And that one's out to left center field. That'll be in for a base hit. And Freddie has 2 hits tonight. And here comes Howie Kendrick. And Craig Counsell's starting to ascend up the stairs. He's got to go get his pitcher, and he does. So Oliver Drake got 1 out, and that was the first batter, Nick Williams. But since that time has allowed 5 consecutive base runners. So Jared Hughes will come into the ball game. Phillies down by 3. We've got another pitching change for the Brewers, and we'll be back right after this. Braves, stay tuned after the ball game for a free post-game concert featuring Grammy-nominated singer Hunter Hayes. Your game ticket is your concert ticket. No additional purchase is necessary. Go to Phillies.com/Hunter Hayes for more information. Well, here the Phils have broken it out a little bit as they have made this a game. Down by 3, 8-5. Jared Hughes will come in. And he'll face Howie Kendrick with the runner at first. Howie is 1 for 3. 1 ball, no strikes. Hughes comes in with an earned run average of 3. He's been pretty good for the Brewers. A Brewers team that has blown 34 leads. Or have had 34 blown lead losses in 2017. Tops in Major League Baseball. 21. Phillies got to Drake, who his last dozen games had an ERA of 0.93, and they scored 4 earned runs against him tonight. Ball and 2 strikes to Howie Kendrick.
Boy, he looks like an expert. I don't care if he swung and missed that pitch, but you got to love his approach to hitting. Straight away, up the middle, use the whole field, stays closed on that ball.
Little dribbler to the right of the mound, picked up by Hughes, and it hits Howie Kendrick, and everybody is safe. The Brewers may contend that Kendrick was out of the baseline, but it looked like he was right in it.
Yeah, home plate umpire was right on that one. As soon as the ball hit him, he said safe. Now he was within the line, and wow.
Tying run is coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th.
And only 1 out, and that
might be a knock.
I think you should give him one.
I think it has been scored a knock. Yeah, he's in the baseline.
Oh, not right now. He's not. No.
Did go out a little bit. He wavered.
Does that have to be the catcher that's fielding that ball? Or
no, it could be the pitcher.
I mean, do you have to be directly in line? In other words, does he have to be on the first base line, throwing the ball to first for that to come into play? But he definitely ran inside the line.
No, it's all dependent on the runner.
Counsell's getting someone up in the bullpen. I thought he might look at that.
Or ask the umpires to talk about it. There's nothing they could review, but they could at least talk about it.
This I don't know the numbers with Franco against Hughes, but Hughes looks like he likes to run that fastball in, and Franco, if he can get out in front of one, that's a pitch he's been hitting lately in Miami and now in here.
So they did score that a single?
Yeah, it has been scored. Oh no, it's been scored in E1. Wow. I thought it would be scored a hit. E1.
It's an old-fashioned rally we got going here right now.
Outside.
A lot of times a home run in the middle of a rally is a rally killer because you got to start all over. Because Freddie Galvis took care of that and got a base hit. Restarted it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they got some big relievers in this league. Golly. Average size of the relievers on this team looks like 6'6".
That's 2-1 right there. Okay, you got that out of the way. You tried to tie it up. Now shoot this thing the other way if he's going to stay out there. Like McNeil got that pull swing working today.
You know, he wants to get them all.
I mean, a ground ball to second base will either load him up or Freddie will score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Santana's got a good arm, but he is deep out in right field. Inside, 2-2.
Well, I don't know why the Milwaukee pitcher would mess with that pitch right now.
Try to come inside again.
Well, if you want to get an RBI, just poke it the other way right here. Because you know he's going away with this, right, John?
Yeah, I would. And that's the thing where Franco has to make sure that he just stays on this ball. If he comes in, try to fight it off, but you can't roll over a grounder here and hit into a double play.
Bouncer over the mounds, picked up by Sogard. Now there are runners on second and third. Four-3 on the putout. Now there are 2 outs.
Now watch this play right here. Now with Arcia, they got the shift on a little bit, but watch Arcia come into the picture right here. Watch Arcia. If Sogard lets Arcia catch this ball, this is a double play because Arcia's got all his momentum going toward second base. It's a quick touch, throw to first, possible double play. Instead, Sogard cuts off. Now a base hit, scores 2, and it's a 1-run game. I've never seen that. He hit himself in the head and spit came out. Did you see that? We got to show that again. That was amazing.
There's
that
Tommy
hand-eye
Joseph.
coordination's unbelievable.
Tommy pulls it foul. It's 0-1.
He might have had a play at third, too.
Sogard?
No, it was running right toward third base when he fielded that ball.
Second and third, 2 outs. Phillies have scored 4 in the inning to make it a 3-run game. fastball had some good sink on it.
Watch this. Little hit in the head. Beep.
That's a good one.
Doc hits these days.
I'm noticing that, John. That's good.
Got him. Tommy Joseph strikes out. Phillies sent 9 men to the plate in the inning and scored 4 runs. Jared Hughes, though, was able to quiet them a little bit. Cesar Hernandez was able to make it loud. We'll go to the 8th. It's 8-5 Brewers. Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEFF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. Well, the Phillies are down 8-5 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Time now for our Hyundai defensive plays of the game. Couple good plays by the Phillies outfielders tonight.
Yeah, really good. And this one here by Abdul Herrera saved a run. Long way to go for that ball. He ran it down, tracked it perfectly, and then Howie Kendrick, fresh off the disabled list, fresh into left field, and fresh with a diving catch, also to save some runs. And those are our Hyundai defensive plays of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Cameron Perkins stays in the ball game to play first base, and Hobie Milner is on. 2.25 ERA. He's on to face Phillips, who shows bunt. Takes it inside.
Boy, it'd been nice to get 1 or 2 more there, wouldn't it? I know you get greedy, but you can drop a 4 spot on him, but he had opportunity to score some more.
Outside, 2-0. Pinto warming up in the bullpen. Milner is probably facing Phillips, and then they'll go to Pinto. Inside, 3-1. RC is on deck. Fly ball left field, and Howie Kendrick is out there. One out here in the 8th inning. Well, Pete has not gotten up, so it looks like RC is going to stay, or is going to face Hobie Milner. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. He'll get us update on what's going on around baseball. Murph.
All right, thank you guys. It's the Unlimited Baseball Break presented by T-Mobile. The Chicago Cubs, well, they're starting to play like the team that won the World Series a year ago, and they're getting another starter back in their rotation as Kyle Hendricks is set to rejoin the team on Monday. Hendricks has been on the disabled list since June the 5th with some inflammation in his pitching hand. Last season, you'll remember, Hendricks led all of baseball with an ERA of 1-3. He was good. Yankees news, not so good for them. Starlin Castro headed to the disabled list for the second time in 4 weeks. He's still dealing with some hamstring injuries. They're saying they don't think he came back too soon from his hamstring injury, that he arrived back a week ago, but he's headed back to the 10-day disabled list at this point. So it's something that he's been dealing with his entire career, and they're just trying to get him healthy for that stretch run for the Yanks. So he'll be sitting for a while.
Yeah, they just were able to pick up Todd Frazier to help them out. There's a strike, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Arcia is 2 for 3 today. 3-2. There's VR warming up in the on deck circle. Way inside, ball 4. So he walks. And VR will be coming up to the plate. By the way, around baseball today, Adrian Beltre picked up another hit. Beltre is now 13 hits away from 3,000 for his major league career.
Yeah, one of the most underrated third basemen ever.
Both offensively, defensively.
Oh my gosh, 3,000 hits. He has 1,600 and some change RBIs. More than both Chipper Jones and myself. Underrated.
How many Gold Gloves? He's got to have a bunch of them too, doesn't he?
I think the last time I looked, he had 5. I'm going to check that though to make sure. There's rumors, or there were rumors, that the Red Sox were interested in bringing him back because they've had so many problems at third base this year. And he said, "I'd prefer to stay in Texas." Outside. 5 Gold Gloves for Adrian Beltre.
That's still, he doesn't need those Gold Gloves to get a ticket to Cooperstown, but they surely would. I mean, he has to be in the discussion of all-time great players at my position.
Well, particularly for this generation.
Oh yeah.
1 ball and no strikes. Popped him up. Cameron Perkins in foul territory. Kind of in no man's land.
Yeah, that's the ball spinning back toward the right field line. The backspin on the ball, like the catcher at home plate. You have to let the ball come back to you because it will spin back toward the field. That's a tough play to put on him. I don't know how much first base he's played recently. Yeah, you're right. That's kind of no man's land. Look how far Hernandez has to go for that ball. He's playing double play depth at second base.
You saw Cameron. He took a couple steps and then he looked up and slowed up. Yeah, that's one of those that you have to run down the line and maybe in fair territory or just in foul territory, because that, like Mike said, that ball's going to come back. But if you try to run straight at it where it's at, then you're going to get lost.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Gentleman pulled the old hat move over there. That's good thinking. You have to plan that. He said, one comes up here, I'm going to use my hat.
Couldn't get it though. Some young lady got it. He deferred.
The lady next to him got the ball. He did the dirty work.
Did the dirt. 2-2.
Oh, ripped it right out of there.
You talked about using your legs and positioning. It's like anything. She used her legs. She got positioning. And
she boxed him out.
That's Moses Malone stuff right there.
Upstairs, they throw behind the runner, and he is back. 3-2.
Cameron Perkins is probably thinking, this is a busy place.
I want to go back out to the outfield.
I liked it when they might not hit me a ball for 3 or 4 innings.
Swing and a miss. 2 outs.
Okay. And you got that kind of fastball right there. What's the deal with a 3-2 slider to the guy leading off the inning?
To a right-handed hitter? I don't know.
Yeah, down and in off the plate about 2 feet.
You're the smart one here. You went to college, right?
Oh, not a Harvard though.
How many?
Sure.
How many years you go? 3?
What do you mean? I think I graduated early. Yeah, I got all my credits and graduated. Heck no. Took me 4 years and 1 extra quarter to get out of there.
So you are the smart one.
What's your degree in?
Business administration.
See, Johnny, you got to get him involved in the cheesesteak business.
No,
By the way, I'm working on an appearance for you now. You may not even know about it.
I don't.
I am a nice one.
You're my agent?
No. You know who my agent is.
Oh yeah.
No balls and 1 strike. To Sogard.
I know they're going to need a little more.
Can you imagine him calling someone, "Heck, I got John Crook here. I want to book an appearance." Like, why don't you just come? Forget him.
Fly ball to short right field. Cesar's out. Williams is in. Williams makes the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, 1 man left, and Johnny's got some extra work. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. The Phils down 8-5. Count on NBC 10 First Alert Weather. Erica, Glenn, Tammy, Bill, and Crystal rated most accurate for your neighborhood. Jacob Barnes, who's been red hot for the Brewers, will take over as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 3-run game. Opposition is 0 for their last 21 against Barnes. He has not allowed a run in his last 9 games. And Nick Williams, who is 0 for 3, will lead things off just as he led off the 7th and made the first out. That was just a challenge me fastball right there.
97.
Yep. 0-2.
I never thought I'd be a miles per hour guy, but I've joined the crowd.
Would it have affected you if you knew what a pitcher was throwing?
Would I want to know
yes.
what he's throwing?
Yeah. There's a base hit to right center field. So much for 0 for the last 21.
Well, hottest hitter.
But Nick got him a knock, but I thought it'd be an at-bat where you might want to take a strike. You know, he did swing at ball 1 the first pitch, but the end result is what counts, and that at-bat turned into a base hit. Broken bat, but a base hit.
7-game hitting streak for Williams. The Phillies with 6 consecutive games with 5 or more runs for the first time since May of 2011. That's actually kind of amazing. Odubel, who is 3 for 3 with 3 extra base hits. He now has 31 doubles. 1 away from Daniel Murphy, who leads the majors with 32.
Back to your question about the miles per hour.
Yeah.
You glance out there and check it out. You know, ooh, that looks fast.
Was it up when you played? I don't remember.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No. I can't remember ever.
John, I don't even know if it was up when you played.
I don't ever recall.
I think one of the first times I remember seeing it was Armando Benitez, if you remember him, when he was pitching for the Orioles, as Odubel just screwed himself into the ground.
He might have overswung there.
Just a little bit.
Little over exuberant.
You're going down.
He's just trying to get on base. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just trying to work one the other way. I mean, how far do you want to hit it? I mean, good Lord.
Odubel asked for time, stepped out, wasn't granted. He started going back in, and Eric Cooper finally did it. He's a reality TV show.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Isn't he?
At some point, wouldn't you think Barnes would go back to that slider that he fell down on?
I might have gone back to it the next pitch.
Just to see if he'd fall again.
Well, you know, he's actually having a pretty good at bat. I mean, you know, he is having a very confident at bat right here. I would think the pitch to get him out would be a splitter or an all-speed pitch with some good motion, but we'll see.
2-2 to Herrera. Outside 3-2.
Now the big key is, can we lay off of this bad boy?
That's what I mean. You know, I mean, we've seen 3-2 changeups. You know, Dubel's not the tying run.
Well, I think he might think he is.
Well, but you know what does Barnes challenge him here 3-2 and say, you know what, if you beat me, you beat me, but I'm not going to walk you?
That would be.
Or does he go for the strikeout?
That'd be the deal
ball?
in the old days.
Bouncer over the head of Thames into right field. That's the 4th hit of the night for Odubel.
And that was a little breaking ball, a little short breaking slider down and in, which was a ball. I think we'll see it was a ball, but he beat it into the ground. It gets over first base.
Must have caught that with a ton of top spin to get that thing to bounce that high.
Sogard made a nice play on that ball.
First 4-hit game of the year for Odubel.
See, now he makes a nice play here. Watch, second baseman.
No, you're right, because Williams, although he was sliding into second, could have easily gotten to third.
He slides and catches that ball. If it caroms off of him and both runners move up, it's a whole different inning.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's a conversation that Juan Samuel and Mickey Morandini are going to have with Nick Williams. You know, that's a ball behind you. You got to pick up your third base coaches. Nick was sliding into second. Well, that ball gets past Sogards. It's first and third. You know, sadly, a double play, not sadly, but a double play would score a run and get you within 2.
There's Cameron Rupp with runners on first and second. And Cameron takes low, 1-0. If ever somebody was due, it's Cameron Rupp.
You know, that pitch was 98. There's no way that pitch was harder than a couple pitches earlier. And it was clocked at 98.
See, that's why it's good it didn't show it to you when you were hitting, because you'd be debating it.
If I knew a guy was throwing 98, I'd start swinging while he was winding up.
Ball and no strikes to Rupp. 2-0. Perkins on deck.
There's nobody out.
Nobody out. The Phillies got to Drake for 4 runs in the third. We mentioned his earned run average was under 1 in the previous 12 games. Barnes has not allowed a run in his last 9 games.
I'd turn old Cameron Rupp loose right now. Get it going early. Look for a fastball anywhere and just
try to hit one in the right field seats.
Boom. All right. Well, it looked like a little cutter, didn't it? Maybe cut a little bit. But that's good. What the heck?
I mean, the man's throwing 98. 2-0, and he's throwing a.
What are you going? Oh, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, apparently that little cutter he can get over just as easy as that 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
2 balls, 1 strike to Rupp.
There you
to
go.
right field. Going back on it is Santana.
There you go. There you go.
It's gone! 3-run home run for Cameron Rupp, and the Phillies have climbed all the way back. Down by 7. They tied it up here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That was a good pitch. I mean, that ball was low and away. Might have been low and over the outer 3/4. I wouldn't want to be forearming right now with Cameron Rupp. Because that'll hurt.
Yeah, he might walk you into the 10th row. Ruppy's puppies are celebrating.
Hey, how about a little celebration in the dugout here? Some dancing or something. There we go. See, that ball's, well, middle of the plate, but down. I think Cameron knew he got it.
Stood up on it, didn't he?
What do you do, bat it back into play?
Don't bring that in here. At the Kembe. Now he needs a finger wag. We're getting all kind of basketball references in here.
Here's Cameron
What a blow, though. Here we go.
First runs allowed by Barnes in 9 games.
And ain't no outs.
Come on. My scorecard's looking good.
Phillies have back-to-back innings of 3-run home runs. No balls and 1 strike to Perkins. Inside 1-1.
Got a call right there.
Watch his puppies move on this one.
You know, that I think he thought he got it, you know. He barely got it, but he got it.
Andrew Knapp, co-catcher. You can't say one's a backup. They're co-catchers, aren't they?
Yeah, Pete said today, he said, oh, one guy's hitting more than the other, so that's why he's playing more. But he said, I'm keeping it open. If somebody else starts to hit, I may switch it up.
Cheesehead's starting to melt a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Perkins. And he hits
whoa,
one
whoa,
back.
whoa. We might have something here. Bounce. That's the closest ball I've seen come to me.
How many gold gloves you got?
10, but I wouldn't.
You know how many I got? You're catching it. 0.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Perkins.
I probably would run away from it, but you need to get one in here.
Perkins fouls it off to the right.
I think at some point you just let it hit you.
That one I wouldn't mess with.
No.
You know, to come in here, it's going to have to be coming with some heat on it because it can't come in high.
Hector Neris warming up now in the bullpen in an 8-8 game.
Hopefully he's coming in to get a save.
I mean, that means, well, if we get a run.
Ground ball through the hole on the left side. Cameron Perkins off the bench is 2 for 2. Greg Counsell is probably sitting there thinking there is no playbook for what's happening to his team. He's going to go to the phone again.
All right, Johnny boy. Little slider hitting the hole there. Cameron Perkins.
He's going to be over his data. Counsell is on that phone.
Well, let me ask you right now.
On that horn.
You're the manager. You don't need a quick answer on this. Are we bunting him? Guy just hit a 3-run home run.
I wouldn't. That's one thing. You know, Cesar can hit a fastball. Got that hole open. Nice little gapper in the left center. Be good though. Or right center. I don't. Whatever center.
Cesar does show bunt. Takes low. 1-0. Well, back in the 7th inning, he wasn't bunting.
And you hit one this far. I mean, that's far.
Well, I'm one of those old school guys that I believe in it. I believe you get a, you know, with what you have coming up with Freddie, and Freddie's got 2 knocks in a game already. There goes Perkins.
Perkins is running.
No.
It's in the air.
No.
It's a double play.
He had a heck of a jump too.
He sure did. Well, that's a shame.
All right, Freddie, just go deep here. Pete's going to talk to someone.
I think Pete's a little upset with Cameron Perkins.
Yeah, if you have the sacrifice on, you're not running.
Might have been a missed sign.
I would think.
Well, now it's Freddie Galvis, who does have 2 hits tonight. And he takes low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, that quieted the place up, didn't it?
It did.
Well, that was a cool customer take there. First pitch. Cameron looks like he's a little, I want to say, confused, but somebody might have missed a sign somewhere. Because if you're going straight sacrifice right there, you wouldn't bunt and run or anything like that.
I think when the manager bypasses the guy who bunted to go to the guy who was on base, I'm certain that that's the one who missed the sign.
Yeah, Pete was pretty. You could see it in his face and what he was saying.
He might have thought hit and run. You know, he might have thought hit and run was on or something. Which I don't think would have been a bad play.
2 balls and no strikes to Galvis.
Ooh.
He pulls it.
It's the one.
Cameron Perkins has had kind of an odd entrance into this game. You just see that pitch to Galvis. He's got 2 hits and a run scored and an RBI, but he also has the pop-up that he didn't grab and now the base running mistake. 2-1 to Freddie Galvis. Bouncer right side. The glove of Thames, but he recovers. And the inning is over. 3-1 on the putout with the Phillies. Thanks to Cameron Rupp, able to tie this ball game up. Cameron goes opposite field for this shot. That's the 7th home run of the year. We'll go to the 9th inning. Phillies and the Brewers locked in an 8-8 game. 2 innings. And now we go to the top of the 9th inning in an 8-8 game. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, here is Hector, 2-3 with an ERA of 3.21. And Hector will face Eric Thames, Ryan Braun, Travis Shaw here in the top of the 9th.
Oh, Braun's out.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, they
That's
had a big
good.
lead. Give him a rest.
That's right.
Give him a rest.
See, you weren't keeping your score, and I was, and I didn't mark it down. That's a huge piece to this game, too.
I just remember, I don't even know what year, when Tommy Lasorda took all his starters out, and we scored 9 in the 9th or whatever, 8 in the 9th or something like that to win the game. Tommy wasn't happy.
Sure he wasn't.
Which made me very happy.
That ball's hit well out to right field. Williams going back. It's going to stay in the yard off the scoreboard. Thames on his way to second. The throw by Williams. Not in time.
Wow.
Just missed getting him. That was a heck of a throw by Nick Williams.
Yeah, it was a nice throw. Great hustle by Thames coming out of the batter's box hard. And the ball just duck hooked a little bit on him, sort of like a curling tennis serve. Boom.
Yeah, he really got top hand over top of that one. But, you know, if that chain link fence isn't there and it was more true of a bounce, Nick would have had him at second easy. But that chain link, it deadens it and kicked it off to the.
Yeah, he got double out of that because he went hard all the way.
Absolutely.
All right, so Thames is at second with his 18th double of the year.
And this is Ryan Braun. No, I'm not getting on you, but that's where he would be right now.
Ryan Braun, who was 3 for 3 with a walk and 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs out of the game. And Perez, who has been a good addition off the bench for the Brewers the last few years, bunts it foul. Figure they have their RBI leader on deck in Travis Shaw.
Tell you what I find interesting. A lot of their hitters, when they step out to take a practice swing, it's always with their top hand. Hernan Perez just did it. Thames does it all the time. Like even in the on-deck circle, he'll take full swings.
Hector's got a chance at third. He fires it, and Thames is out. What a throw. That was a BB. You heard Cameron Rupp saying 3-3-3.
Well, that's big right there. He played that with some athleticism. Wow. Yeah, nice little reverse pivot. Feel like an infielder. Boom. Right on target.
You see so many pitchers who have to get into their throwing, mechanics. I throw over top, so I have to throw this one over top. But what a great play by Hector. How about our pitchers today with their throws to bases?
Yeah.
Hellickson started double play or got a force out at second. And that one right there is huge.
Travis Shaw, who homered his last time up, has 2 extra base hits tonight. Takes outside, 1-0.
Be a little careful with Travis Shaw.
One ball, 1 strike.
That was dangerous right there.
That was a tumbler.
A little bit of a hanger. Got some fans here. Let's go Brewers. And
well, when they were scoring the runs over the third base dugout, there's a pretty good amount. Oh yeah, he did get away with one.
Well, he tried to pull it.
Ooh, 96.
Tried to pull it.
96 ain't gonna tumble, said Hector. Just a good old challenge right there with the fastball. Beat him. See if you can't get something running away and see if he's still in pull mode. Get a grounder to Cesar.
Runner goes. Pitch is lined to right center field. Odubel gets to it. Perez to third, and now the Brewers have first and third with one man down. And Shaw has 3 hits. And here comes Domingo Santana.
Good base running. Perez read that ball. Third base with 1 out. Right back in that same situation we were in before.
Well, if the bunt was successful by Perez, we'd probably be in this situation, right? Sure, they would have walked Shaw.
Boy, this is where that splitter double play ball is big. Get this guy to roll over to third base or one of the middle infielders and get out of this inning.
And Cameron going out to talk to Hector, try to get on the same page.
Also the value of that strikeout potential by Neris too. You know, he can throw a strikeout up there in a second. Pete looking over the defense. Here's where your confidence in your catcher comes into play too for Neris.
96. You know he's going to be hacking first pitch. But it's 0-1.
Yeah, he loves going after that first pitch fastball. I mean, he and Nick Williams have the same approach. First pitch fastball, we're going to let it fly. Now you can get him to chase.
And a line drive base hit it to left field. The Brewers will retake the lead. RBI single by Santana. It's 9-8 Milwaukee.
That was a bad pitch. He surely wasn't trying to make a bad pitch, but I know he wanted that ball down, and that was a splitter, right over the middle of the plate with a hitter in sort of protection mode, short and quick mode. He didn't want to throw that pitch for a strike. Watch where this pitch is. Boom.
And that's when Hector's been getting hit this year. When he struggled, that's the struggle. That split finger just tumbles. Doesn't have that good downward bite on it.
Well, here is Jesus Aguilar, who will be pinch hitting for the pitcher.
It's a large fellow right here.
Sure is.
Well, and here's where you're Hector. You say, you know what? I got to keep this here.
Yeah, they've shown the ability to come back tonight. They've scored 7 runs the last 2 innings, the Phillies. On the outside corner, 0-1. Well, he's been a good pinch hitter. We mentioned this last week when we were in Milwaukee. 12 hits as a pinch hitter, including a home run. Two. Got him. First strikeout for Hector in this inning. 2 outs. And Brett Phillips is the batter. He's 0 for 4. Phillies in their half of the 9th inning will have Kendrick, Franco, the first 2 hitters. And then the pitcher's spot.
Nava maybe, depending.
He said that it was day to day, that he would check in with him to see if he was available. So I don't know. Nava's been sitting on the bench most of the night. I haven't seen him go back to take some swings.
If it stays 1 run and if there's 2 outs, you might throw him in there.
You're gonna have to use 2 players if he did a double with 2 outs.
I mean, it's either him or Andrew Knapp.
Or Blanco. Or Andrew Knapp. No balls and 1 strike. if there's 2 outs, nobody on.
I'll tell you what, if contact's all we need to score a run, Nava's my man.
Unless it's, well, there won't be a double play in play if there's, or a double play wouldn't hurt. Score a run. Don't know how well he can run.
Change up outside, and it's 2-1.
Tell you, you heard how deflated it was on that Cameron Perkins running and pop-up bunt. Took the
popped the air right out of the balloon.
It did. I mean, it was deflating.
Well, you got to hand it to the Brewers. They did some hitting against a pretty darn good closer right here. I know he's not the closer that he was last year. He was last year the 8th inning guy, but
down the left field line, long run for Howie Kendrick, and he's there. The inning is over. The Brewers, though, retake the lead. They get a run on an RBI single by Santana. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Do the Phils have a little more magic? We'll find out. WB Mason deliveries of the game, and we've had our share of deliveries. We start in the 7th inning with Cesar Hernandez. 3-run home run. That made it an 8-5 game. And then in the 8th inning, how about Cameron Rupp, a 3-run home run? That ties it at 8. But the Brewers, they blew an 8-1 lead. But in their half of the 9th inning, Domingo Santana, the former Phil, pulls it into left field. Former Phillies prospect pulls it into left field to score Hernan Perez. And those are our WB Mason deliveries of the game. All right, so here we go, bottom of the 9th inning.
So we have some more deliveries.
That's right. Howie Kendrick is due to lead it off. Corey Knebel is part of a new battery that includes Manny Pena. Pena will bat 9th. Knebel will bat 6th. And for the Phillies, it'll be Kendrick, Franco, and then a pinch hitter. Hector Neris gave up the run in the 9th inning. His ERA in the 9th inning compared to all other innings is amazingly different. Over 4 in the 9th inning, under 1 every other inning. And Kendrick fouls the first pitch away. It's 0-1.
Little 99 for you, Michael.
little 99, 6'6", 6'7". We're seeing 3 guys in a row that are 6'6". There was one guy in baseball that might have been 6'6" when I played.
Well, he has 5 blown saves, including the other day against Pittsburgh.
Whoa.
But he's ahead 0-2.
Look at that, Uncle Charlie.
I think he has a chance to be a pretty good closer at some point.
Well, they need one. Look what the starter did compared to the bullpen tonight. Now he fouls it away again.
Wow. How about the starter from Mr. Sutter? Suter.
Yep, Suter won 6, allowed 5
Thought
hits and 1
he
run.
had a little W, didn't he?
Well, they took him out with 85 pitches.
Remember, I had an answer for that. You know what? You know, why don't you
feeling good, get a win. 0-2 pitch coming to Kendrick. But Howie takes high.
We got the right guys up here.
Yeah, we do.
Strike 3 call. 99 on the outside corner. 1 away.
It got there quick, didn't it? I mean, that explodes
that
out of
looked
his hand.
98, 99.
That's 80 strikeouts now for Knebel in 45 2/3 innings.
Oh, really? Wow. 80 and 40. That's a deuce an inning.
Yeah. Breaking ball, and it's 0-1. He didn't like that. He didn't like that baseball.
Yeah, I just threw a nose to toes Uncle Charlie for strike 1. Let me try another ball.
And the pitch before was 98 on the.
How about throwing the same thing again? I mean, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I want Franco to get a double or a home run or something. But I mean, wow. Why would you even think about that?
High bouncer to shortstop. Arcia. Phillies are down to the last out. After trailing 8-1, they tied it up at 8. And now that the Brewers are taking the lead with 2 quick outs, it's Andres Blanco. So we assume that Nava is not available.
Must kind of hurt the swing. You know, he hurt himself. Shoot.
Blanco.
Yeah. I might say hit and don't run.
Yeah. Blanco takes strike 1. It's 0-1. That was 100. Guy's got some stuff going tonight.
He's. I mean, this is as good as I've seen out of the bullpen. I mean, a closer so far.
Remarkable that he has 5 blown saves. One ball and 2 strikes to Andres Blanco. He stays alive and he whacks it foul. It's still 1-2.
Well, Andres will get his hacks in. There's no doubt about that. He's going to get his money's worth up there. He'll turn his year around right here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball swung on and missed. They'll dig it out of the dirt. And the strikeout is recorded, and the Brewers hang on and win it 9-8 to take game 2 of this series. They blew a 7-run lead, but after the Phillies tied it, the Brewers were able to win it in their half of the 9th inning, and Corey Knebel was able to save it in the bottom of the 9th inning. Well, I'll give the Phils some credit. They did battle back from an 8-1 deficit. Our Chevrolet player of the game, even though he wasn't around when they won the game, was Ryan Braun. They took him out because they had an 8-1 lead. But Hernan Perez, who came on to replace him, he was able to score the eventual winning run. But Braun is our Chevrolet player of the game. The Brewers win it. They end their losing streak, and they end the Phil's brief winning streak. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.